Welcome to the Flipped Classroom with lecture quiz number 2, Introduction to Sociology. Sociology is the study of social life, social change, and the social causes and consequences of human behavior. Sociologists investigate the structure of groups, organizations, and societies, and how people interact within these contexts. Since all human behavior is social, the subject matter of sociology ranges from the intimate family, such as in our class, to global communities, from deviance to organized crime, from religious traditions to state institutions, and from the divisions of race, gender, and social class to the shared beliefs of a common culture. Sociologists are scientists. We collect data, analyze patterns, and infer information about society. We use many methods to do this, including surveys, interviews, observation, and statistical analysis. For example, studying family dynamics in order to understand broader social trends are one of the aspects that many sociologists engage in. Here we have influential women in sociology from the last 10 years, starting upper left-hand corner with Patricia Hill Collins, all the way to Dorothy Smith and the bottom right-hand corner. And many of these PowerPoints, if you refer to them, you will see there are links that you can go to and find out more information. In addition, in the notes, there are often more information as well. Pierre Bourdieu was a French sociologist known for concepts like habitus, cultural capital, and field. And basically, his key ideas are that social structures influence individual behaviors and opportunities. I decided to highlight him because he made some excellent quotes, including this one. The difficult in sociology is to manage to think in a completely astonished and disconcerted way about things you thought you had always understood, which is the goal of this class. One of the first key concepts I will be asking you to use was coined by this American sociologist and activist known for his radical social theory and critical analysis of power structures in societies. His name is C. Wright Mills. His key idea that we are going to investigate is the concept of the sociological imagination, which emphasizes understanding individual lives within the context of larger social structures. A famous quotation from him is that neither the life of an individual nor the history of a society can be understood without understanding both. C. Wright Mills' concept of the sociological imagination is a powerful tool that allows us to connect our personal experiences with larger social forces. There are 4 key uses of the sociological imagination. Understanding personal troubles as public issues. Sociological imagination helps us see how individual challenges like unemployment are often linked to broader societal problems, such as economic downturns or shifts in the job market. Recognizing the impact of social structures. This allows us to understand how social structures like family, education, and government shape our behaviors and opportunities. For example, educational attainment can be influenced by social factors such as family background, access to resources, and social expectations. Applying the sociological imagination also fosters empathy and understanding. By connecting personal experiences to societal contexts, we can better understand and empathize with others and our own situation. For example, understanding the struggles of single-parent families by considering societal pressures and the lack of support system. Can also help identify root causes of social issues. It helps us identify social problems which can have more effective solutions. For example, perhaps addressing poverty by looking at systemic issues like wage inequality, lack of affordable housing, and inadequate health care could help our society in general. Using the sociological imagination, we can gain a deeper understanding of how our lives are entwined with the broader social world. This perspective is crucial for analyzing and addressing social issues effectively. The three most important aspects of the sociological imagination, which we will use in class, is to use critical thinking to encourage questioning of societal norms and structures. It also has empathy, fostering understanding for diverse perspectives and experiences. And most interestingly, it involves problem solving, helping to identify root causes of social issues and potential solutions. Your first quiz question is, what does C. Wright Mills mean by the term sociological imagination? The concept of family in sociology is enormous. The simplest definition we have is that a family is a social institution that varies across cultures and time periods. What sociologists look at are, what are family structures and socializations? Does family affect social equity or inequity or economic impact? Have family dynamics changed over time? And how has that affected social change? Or is that the social change has affected family dynamics? This slide has in its notes a list of many questions that could be identified by sociologists. Perhaps you have already thought of a few questions you have yourself. When applying the sociological imagination to family, we often run into which came first, the personal trouble or the public issue? Which influences what? For example, a personal trouble that often people describe as a personal problem is divorce. There are people who expect people to divorce in certain situations and also not to divorce in specific situations. Family roles and dynamics, which are identified by society, could affect these. Or is it that personal experiences affect what people think others should do? Divorce is a personal trouble, but it is often have public issues such as economic recessions. When there are economic troubles, it can often lead to personal troubles such as divorce. Again, if you have a divorce, you could have a personal economic recession, which goes back to personal trouble and public issues. See the chicken or the egg issue here? These are the kind of things we will be exploring in the course. For your short answer response to this quiz question, I would like you to think about your own family. How do family members interact with each other? What values and behaviors are emphasized by your family? After jotting a few things down about this, I'd like you to think, do these dynamics influence society in general? If so, then how? And if they don't, please explain why not. As scientists, sociologists employ many methods. And you may have noticed that we just created a collection of family photos. So you can expect us to do a content analysis of these family photos. To do a content analysis, first you have to identify key elements, look for recurring themes, objects, and people in the photos. For example, among the photos in the discussion board, are there specific locations, types of clothing, or activities that stand out? You should analyze the composition. Consider the framing of the photos, the positioning of the individuals, and the use of color and light. Do these elements convey symbolic meanings? Also consider the context. Identify the time period the photos were taken. Are there social norms and values of that era, or even possibly that time of year, and the family's specific circumstances? I will see you in class where we will discuss content analysis further.